Every time we get together at family events, she always asks me about D&D. Like, she so badly wants to understand what I do.
I'm 97 years old. I'm going to make it to 100.
I believe you.
I have the Time magazine thing, and I've tried to read it and understand, but not too successfully.
Every time I try to explain, I feel like she never quite gets it. I thought maybe if she played it, she would get it.
Well, it'll be interesting.
My grandma doesn't really get D&D, and since understanding D&D is pretty key to understanding what I'm doing with my life as a professional tabletop gaming creator, that's always made me feel a little sad. I would like my grandma to understand what my job is, and maybe even be proud of me. So after the millionth attempt to explain it to her at a family dinner, it occurred to me maybe she just needs to play it. And she must really love me, or be getting bored with her bridge group, because she agreed to give it a try. I'm a pretty experienced dungeon master, but this is a challenge. Not only is she a total beginner, but she's also nearly 100 years old. If I can run a successful game for her, I'm pretty sure I can run a game for anyone. But if I hand her a character sheet she can't even read without a magnifying glass, let alone understand, it's game over before it even starts. So the first step, I gotta make D&D grandma friendly. Have you seen this? It's a viral clip of Deborah Ann Wool teaching John Bernthal the basics of D&D in real time.
You wanna play D&D?
I mean, I'll try. I mean, what do you think I'd be able to do it?
Literally right now.
Sure.
All right, so what do you see? You've got a bow strapped to your back, a sword and a dagger at your hilt, right? So you're walking through the woods. It's dark, it's at night. Almost no moonlight is coming through. You hear a crack off in the distance. Something large stepped on a branch. What would you do?
First thing, how far away is the crack?
Give me a perception check.
I'm taking big inspiration from this. It's super simple, and because John doesn't have a character sheet, he's not trying to figure out how to apply game mechanics to the problem. He's fully in character, just imagining how he would react if he were really there. My grandma will be the only player, and I don't want her to have to deal with all the paperwork and the rules. She already has to do estate planning. Let's give the woman a break. I want to distill D&D down to its central concept, which is just playing pretend. I've printed off a pre-made character sheet for her, a level 1 elf ranger, but she's not gonna have this, I am. She'll roll the dice and I'll do the rest. To help her picture the scenarios, I've borrowed a ton of terrain from my dungeon master Jessie, so we'll have a few fun battle maps. I'm preparing 2 locations. First, a forest where she'll encounter a giant spider. This one's pretty simple, but I'm adding some cotton batting to look like spider webs all over the trees. All this terrain was 3D printed and painted by Jesse Jerdak. My favorite is this cute scatter terrain he designed, and you can get the 3D print file in his Patreon shop for just $3. What a steal. Then there's a wizard tower where the final encounter will take place. It's meant to be long abandoned, so the lower floor is all covered in spider webs and nests. Then on the upper floor, there's an evil enchantress who's raising undead skeleton warriors. Most of the time, I am not doing full 3D terrain like this. I'm more of an illustrated battle map girly myself. And if you are too, you'll be very into today's sponsor, Roll and Play Press. Oh, excuse me, I need to go through here. Apparently today's sponsor, the map library from Roll and Play Press, is this way. Not so fast, adventurer. One of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies. Figure out which is which, and we'll let you through. Oh geez, I've never been very good at these. Okay, what is the map library? Easy. It's a floor plan to help you navigate your local public library. That place is so confusing. No, it's a collection of 100 hand-drawn tabletop battle maps for fantasy RPGs. They're organized by terrain type, so you can quickly find whatever you need. Are they just printed on paper? They're printed on super durable coated paper, so they're dry erasable. Just draw whatever you need for your game, and then wipe them off and reuse them again and again. Wrong. They're printed on the tanned hides of naked mole rats. Unethical, really. What if I play online? You shouldn't do that. If you die online, you die in real life. The digital files of every map are included for free. You can drop them right into your VTT. Man, this is really tough. Seriously? She's obviously the liar. Let's just let her through. Tell her to go to rollandplaypress.com and use the code GDGIFT for 10% off the map library through the end of March. She's way too stupid to figure it out on her own. Hey! I disagree. I think she's very smart. Thank you. Wait a second. So I prepared, it's basically like a 6-step adventure where each step of the adventure is supposed to take 10 minutes or less, because I don't want her to have to play for hours. I'm planning on this game being about an hour long. She starts off in the woods, she finds a clue so she can do like exploration. Then she has the chance to do combat if she wants to. She'll meet a person, so that's a social interaction. Then she travels to a location and does like some investigation. There's a puzzle in that location, like a really, really simple door puzzle, and then there is like the final combat encounter. Or it doesn't have to be combat if she doesn't want to. My goal here is that it will just feel like we are telling a story together, and I will tell her when to roll the dice, and I will do all of the math for her, so she never needs to learn like what a modifier is. I'm just gonna ask you some questions.
Don't get too personal. My name is Virginia.
And that's the same as my name. We're both Virginias.
That's right.
I was wondering if you could explain, to the best of your knowledge, what Dungeons and Dragons is.
Well, I really don't know, but it seems like it's a game where people use their imagination and they create an identity for themselves, and they live that identity in the game.
That's a really good explanation, actually, I think.
Okay. In my age group, you know, I play games. We play bridge and mahjong.
You watched Game of Thrones, right? You like fantasy?
I did. I binge watched that.
You did? I was excited to play D&D with my grandma, but even I had to admit it, she wasn't ready. If she was going to get through a whole session, she needed some training. Elves live a really long time, so your elf character will be 97 years old, just like you. You have like 600 years ahead of you. And I made you a ranger, which is a type of character who is really good at the outdoors. So you...
No, that's you.
No, this is you.
Oh.
You can track and hunt animals, you're good at survival in the wilderness, you're really good at nature. So I thought maybe you might want to give your elf character a name.
I'll make up a name. Fragonia.
Fragonia. Fragonia the Elf Ranger. I was worried about her ability to like read and understand the character sheet for sure, because the sheet is already confusing to people who haven't played a game like this, and then you add the fact that she doesn't have very good vision. So what I did is I created these index cards that just say the main things that she has access to, like sword, so that she knows sort of what her options are. If your character gets hurt, you can use these potions to heal yourself, but you only have 2.
Oh, so if you get hurt again and you've already used the 2.
Then maybe you're in trouble. I mean, you're my grandma and I love you, but who knows? Your character could die. That happens. I do have, if you want to feel more like an elf ranger, I have some stuff we could deck you out with.
I don't care.
There you go.
It's green.
Yeah, and you have a hood if you need to be incognito. An elven diadem to grace your brow. Let's get started. You are in the woods. You feel comfortable in the woods, but as you are walking through the underbrush with your quiet elf feet, you find something that startles and troubles you. You find a spatter of blood on the ground. What would you do if you saw blood on the ground in the woods?
I'd scream.
You scream! Oh my gosh, there's blood on the ground. Where did that come from?
I want to find out where it's from. I would use my nose and I'd try to smell and see if I could smell a certain animal, and I would listen.
Yeah.
See if I could hear a purring or a whistling or a...
If you could roll this 20-sided die for me, this will tell me how good you are at investigating. You start to notice these webs stretched between the trees, like huge spiders' webs.
I hate spiders.
You do?
They're so creepy. Well, I want to part them so that I can get through.
As you tug on them, the webs react to your movement. You have a feeling that you just notified wherever that spider is that something has touched its web. Okay, here's the forest.
And they're the spider webs.
You notice something hanging from a tree. It seems like it's about the shape of a person, but it's been completely wrapped up in spider webs.
I need a sword to cut the web. I want to roll it high.
Yes, you do. You want a high number. The person who is suspended from the tree falls to the ground. You notice they're thrashing around in the web. They're definitely still alive. The creator of the web scrambles down from one of the trees and gets ready to try and attack you. I was so impressed with how she handled her first combat. She didn't just hit it with her sword over and over. She tried all kinds of stuff.
I have a torch, so I'm going to wield the torch and scare them away. I will go some distance and use my bow and arrow. Can I run away? I'm going to go over here and lure the spider away from the orc with some rations.
It was also so funny how bloodthirsty she was. Like, she was not here to make friends. You see a half-orc, green skin and big tusks, and he's picking all of the spider webs off of him.
While he's occupied with doing all that, can I shoot him with a bow and arrow from a little bit distance?
Yeah.
Which is the most dangerous?
You know that the spider has already tried to attack you. The person who fell out of the tree
Might be a friend.
They might be a friend. You don't know yet.
Well, that would be my thought, to run away and let them duke it out. One or the other will die.
Yeah.
I'll go hide behind a tree.
She did end up taking pity on the orc, but it was kind of a near thing. Honestly, it kind of killed me to not be doing voices. I love doing voices, but she has such a hard time hearing. I just didn't want to make it any more complicated.
What are you doing out here?
I lost a first cousin of mine in the woods not too long ago. Maybe you'll help me find my lost cousin.
Wow, what's your cousin's name?
Thermopolis.
Thermopolis. Your lovely cousin Thermopolis. You know, I've been hearing about people getting lost in the woods. Usually creatures like this don't come this far into the valley.
I would be going into danger.
To find your cousin, you'll probably have to.
Yeah.
I was actually so shocked by how creative she was. Like, she was so ready to make stuff up. Sure enough, just like the half-orc told you, there are the ruins of an old tower. There's this strange magical light coming out of the top floor.
I want to examine it and see where it's coming from.
You can hear a human voice coming from up in the tower, kind of chanting. Another thing that you notice is that there are traces of spider webs around this lower floor. They are blackened and burnt.
I will go inside the tower and climb up to the top where I get a better view of everything. I want to see what the magic is.
There's a ton of spider web in the tower, but you don't actually see any spiders. Most of what you see is these webs that have been burnt and blackened by fire, and there are even spider eggs in this room that have been crushed.
That's good.
Tangled in the web, you find a ring, a magic ring. You head up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, you find yourself in a hallway, and that purple magical light is coming out from underneath a door. You can hear the chanting from behind the door.
I'll take my magic ring and demand that they open that door for me, and the magic ring will make it happen.
Your ring casts the spell Knock, which will open any locked door, and the door swings open ahead of you. I'm gonna get the other part of the map. You see from behind a woman in a black dress with this huge spiky collar. She is bent over a book on a stand, and she is reading from the book. The purple glow is emanating from something in a huge magic circle drawn on the floor. It's surrounded by runes and candles, and in the middle of that circle, the source of this purple glow is your cousin, Thermopolis. Now, the woman has not noticed you yet because you got into the room with magic, so you didn't trigger any of the traps.
Maybe I'll sneak into the room and try not to be seen.
Okay?
And I'm going to try to drag her through the door and then down the stairs.
All right, so first I'll have you roll a stealth check. That's what we call a natural 20.
That's good, isn't
That's
it?
the best roll you can get.
Oh, I'm going to save Thermopolis.
You get all the way to the top of the stairs, so the purple glow that was emanating from Thermopolis dissipates, and the spellcaster looks up. She stops her chanting, and at the top of the stairs appears the spellcaster, and she points at your ring and she says, "That ring! That's the ring I need!"
She wants it.
Yeah.
She's going to go after me. I have a lot of animals in the woods that are my friends, so I'm going to sick those animals after that witch.
Let me find some animal friends. How about a bear? Does that sound good?
A grizzly.
You let out a piercing whistle, and your grizzly bear friend comes bounding in the door, ready to obey your command.
Get that witch.
That's really good. 17 to hit. That definitely hits her. So that is going to be 1d6 plus 2. The bear sinks its teeth into the spellcaster's arm. Her arm drops to the side, limp. She only has use of one arm now. But it is her turn, and it seems that she is an ambidextrous caster. So she extends her hand towards your bear friend. What's your bear friend's name?
Boogie.
Out of her hand, this green acid sprays onto
On the
him.
bear.
And it hits his shoulder, and you watch there's an audible hissing sound.
The magic ring will cut off that arm.
Oh, you want to try and cut
her
off her
good
arm?
arm.
Even though I was more free with her than I would have been in pretty much any other game, I do think it was a good exercise in just how to say yes to everything. Like when she said she wanted to use a spell to cut off the spellcaster's other arm. At first I was like, we can't do that. I mean, it'll basically end the combat, right? Like if you cut off her arm and she already doesn't have use of the first arm, like you will just crush her. But then I was like, why shouldn't she crush her? This is the final combat. Let her do something crazy. A spectral sword bursts out of your ring and slashes at her arm, and you watch as you fully sever her arm. It just falls to the ground. She screams and she says, just give me the ring! Just give me the ring and you can go! I mean, she's talking a big game, but she doesn't have any arms.
I'm not gonna. Oh, I'll take a sword right through to her heart.
Go ahead and roll an attack with your sword. A 10 plus 5? That just hits her.
Good for me.
You take your sword and you drive it into her chest. This purple energy, like the magic that you saw that she was keeping Thermopolis trapped with, bleeds out of her in these magical bursts, and she writhes on the ground until finally she stops moving and the purple glow is gone and the tower falls silent.
Now we can go home.
Now you can go home.
I'll lead them through the forest and bring them back to their homes.
You saved your cousin? You have a pet bear? And you killed a witch?
Okay, I got the picture. Did I do okay?
I think you did great.
Okay. How was it? How did you like it?
Oh, it was fun, and I see great possibilities.
Do you feel like you understand me and my job more now?
I think it's very complicated, and you have to be good at it. It's interesting. It's different. I'm a senior, as you know, and my friends are all seniors, and they don't know anything about this, and I will have to be able to explain it a little bit to them, which will be difficult. It'll be interesting to see what they think of it.
I had a lot of fun, and I also feel like because it was so low stakes, like there was only going to be one session and there were no other players at the table. So I could kind of just let her do whatever she wanted to do. I was just a way more lax DM than I would have been in any other circumstance. Like originally I was thinking the ring would only let her cast one spell, but she just kept coming up with ideas for spells she wanted to cast and I was like, sure. Going into it, I expected her to be less willing to fight. I feel like my parents, when they played, tried to get around fights. Nope, Grandma wanted to fight. I think that was a really good way to introduce somebody who just otherwise would have had no real window into how to play D&D. I think if I had handed her a character sheet, like, it would have been done. It would have been over before it started. She was a really good sport. I'm very grateful for what a good sport she was. Who's next? Who's the next person to entrap into playing D&D for a YouTube video?
Thanks for watching. If you want to support Ginny's work, what is it? You can pledge to
Pledge to her Patreon.
Patreon.
Yep.
Starting at $2.
You did great. Thank you.